This tutorial will show how to link your rubric that's located in the Microsoft Word document with your grade sheet or your spreadsheet that you're using for grades in Microsoft Excel. So first open up the Word document. That's where the rubric is, and there you see the completed rubric, except for the top table, which I blanked out so I could demonstrate. So now let me begin demonstrating. This is where we'll put the student's name in Korean. This will be where the English name goes, and this is where the student number goes, student ID number. Notice that this one is left justified, this one is centered, and this one is right justified. That's so it'll look better when you actually do the merge. And also these two vertical lines here, we'll get rid of those also because they make it look a little bit cluttered after the merge is done too, and I'll show you how to do that. First thing though is to tell the document that it's going to be a mail merge document by going over to the Mailings tab, clicking on that Mailings tab, then click on Start Mail Merge, and you can go down to where it says Normal Word Document and click there. Then you go to the Select Recipients button and click on that one, and go down to the Use Existing List and click there. And then you need to look for your Excel spreadsheet, and I've got a shortcut that makes it a little easier, although this new Windows 7 does like to bounce around once I start looking for stuff, but we'll do the best we can, and hopefully, oh, there it just bounced. I don't know why Windows 7 does that, but anyway, there we are. I'm in my General Admin folder, and I'm going to click on the Excel file that I'm going to link this with, which is this one, and we'll say Open, and it comes up with a whole bunch of class names. These are the different spreadsheets that I have for the 5 classes that I'm teaching this semester, and we'll go down to the right spreadsheet, which is this one here. You might need to experiment a little bit to figure out which is the right one for you. Click on OK, and now all the students have been selected, and we have to edit the recipient list because there's just not only the students that have been selected, but even all the blank pages are there too. So we have to avoid getting a bunch of useless paper printed, and click on the top box to clear all the check boxes, and then go back in and manually reinsert the ones that are just for the students. So I just clicked on this one, then down arrow, then space bar, down arrow, space bar, down arrow, space bar. Okay, I'll spare you the agony. Okay, and that's all 19 students in the class. Then you click on OK, and then you're ready to go to the next step, which is Insert Merge Field. Okay, and now I clicked a little bit too high on the box, and it came up with this square box, which I'm really not comfortable with, so I'm going to back out of that and click Cancel, and I'll click on the part of the box that I am comfortable with, which is this bottom part near the excuse me, near the triangle. Now the first column should have name Korean, so there is that. Let me see if I can bring up the Excel file at the same time. Okay, we'll bring it up as a read only so that we can see what we're doing side by side. Okay, get back to the Word file. So there's name Korean, and here is name Korean here. So it's going to take all these Korean names and insert them to each rubric, each page of the Microsoft Word document very nicely. Then the next one we'll go with name English, so I go over here and click on Insert Merge Field. I guess it's been compressed a little bit so it confused me slightly, but there it is there, and click on name English. Okay, so now all the English names will show up there. And finally we'll do the same thing for the student ID number, and that's this one. Okay, and now they're all set up. We have all the fields that we need for each one of the rubrics that will be generated, and so we can save this, and I will now close this because otherwise it gets a bit confusing. We don't need it open anymore, and the next thing to do is see how the merge happens, and that is simply done over here. Finish and merge, edit individual documents and merge records all. Click OK, and there we have the first of the student names, and there's the second one and the third. Now we go back to that Excel file and double check. Okay, so there's Cha Sung Ho, and there's Sebastian and Sebastian, Hebeen, and so the whole class is done. If you look down here, it says page 2 of 19, and all 19 students are done. All right. Now we have got everything set, and then the next thing to do is save this file, because right now it is just unnamed or whatever. It's just called letters1, which is rather meaningless. Okay, and I think that dates back to the old days when Microsoft Mail Merge was just strictly for mailing letters. And we're going to save it as just a regular document, and I'm going to go back to my admin folder, which is where I save them all. So we'll just give it a name, whatever name you want to give it. So we'll just call this the rubric for tutorial. There, then I won't be so confused next time I go through my admin folder. Click on Save, and it's just saying you're about to save it into the new Microsoft Word 2010 format, and I say okay, fine. Okay, so there it is, rubric for tutorial, and then when I go to class, basically I just have to open up this file and get Breevy up and running, and I'm good to go. I'm good to start marking their presentations in real time. Oh yes, there was one thing I said I was going to do and I didn't do it, so I will now have to go back to the master file and show you how to do it, because there's no point in making changes in this file because only one page at a time will get actually changed. So go back to the master file, and remember I said I'd show you how to get rid of these little vertical lines. I mean, this is so important. Talk about anal retentive or what. But anyway, we'll go to borders and shading, and just click on this part here, make sure it's applying to that table only, and this will get rid of the interior lines. We don't want to get rid of the bottom line, otherwise the box will be gone. And there you see. Okay, so one more time we'll do a finish and merge, edit individual documents, all. This time when it comes up, there's no ugly little lines in between. Okay, so there we have the rubrics all set up and ready to go. And like I say, taking my little netbook into the classroom and getting this set up to do the editing is, to do the marking is not that difficult. You go to Developer after you've opened the actual file and click on Restrict Editing. Then you go to where it says Editing Restrictions, click on the box there, and you want it to be able to fill in forms but nothing else, so you click there, and then you click on the bottom to start enforcing protection, and then you don't have to put in a password, you can just leave it blank, and then you're able to actually start checking off all the boxes for your students. When you need to make a comment, you stop protection and then go here, and if your Breevy is up and running, which mine isn't right now, then it will actually do a lot of the typing there for you. There's Breevy. Okay, so we've got Breevy up and running, and wow, this student is doing amazing eye contact. EC1 I'm going to say, and hit the control key, and look at that. Okay, this really allows you to keep watching and not waste a lot of time with typing. Of course there are certain situations where you will have to type something very specific to what the student is doing, and Breevy doesn't interfere with that at all. In fact, you can actually take a Breevy comment like this one, IEE2, and it says you need to practice more so you can introduce, explain, and emphasize your visuals. If you want to change more effectively to most effectively, it's not a problem. It's just like a regular word processor. Breevy has not taken over your system or anything like that, and it just makes life so much easier. And best of all, some of those students may actually read what's written for comments on their rubrics, and wouldn't that be nice? Thanks for watching. Hope you try it, and good luck.